It's a business, these old photos. But no, hats off again, more amateurs. And without these amateurs, we wouldn't have what we've got today.
Right, so this time, Bob's found a sort of almost like, I want to call it the bloopers reel of the archaeologist. It's like the random bit, not enough of each one to make a program, but quite a few stories to share, I think, Bob.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's just the random bits and pieces. As I was researching this, that you come along a couple of interesting bits and pieces, which aren't really related to the story, but they're quite interesting. So I think we'll leap straight into it.
Yes, that's a polite way of putting it. You're very polite, Bob. You're very diplomatic. You're much better than me. Oh, hang on.
All right.
There we go. Right.
Okay. Well, the first one I've termed any old iron. And this is just a classic of its kind, because this is Mound 2, Sutton Hoo. This was one of the first ones that Basil Brown dug up, and he discovered the remains of a boat, which we covered in one of the earlier presentations. But what happened was, he didn't know at the time, but subsequent research has shown that this mound had been entered back in 1860 by a number of gentlemen archaeologists at the time. And they apparently had dug into it, and they found all the iron rivets belonging to the boat. But it's a bit like the story of Garndiffaith, where they found the big lead sheet. And being Welsh boys, what you do, you get your hatchet, try and chop me up into bits and take you down to the scrap merchants quick. Well, that's exactly what these gentlemen archaeologists do. They collected nearly 2 bushels of iron rivets out of this mound and legged it down to the local blacksmith, who converted it all into horseshoes.
So it's not just Welsh boys doing it, it's posh English boys
you
as
can't
well.
write it, can you? So valuable archaeological artifacts melted down to make black shoes.
One goes to beer money, one goes to reshoe their horses.
And again, it is just like Garndiffaith. A lot could have been told from the analysis of these rivets. And Garndiffaith is just one of the crimes of you just can't get over.
That's a heartbreaker, that is, yeah.
Yeah, all of that writing, what they termed as hieroglyphic writing down there, that could have told a big story. And instead,
people like watching me cry on TV.
Yeah, instead, all they did was buy a couple of lads some pints on a Friday night. And I'm sure this goes on, today. People are just destroying things because they don't realise the value of them. The next one is amateurs again. The whole of Sutton Hoo is about amateurs, really. Basil Brown, the amateur, who did excellent archaeology work and got elbowed out of the way, first by Charles Phillips and then forgotten by Bruce Mitford.
Mitford, yes.
Yeah. But the whole of the photographs that you see of Sutton Hoo, where you see the boat in its entity and you see all the people digging around it and all the people grouped round and things like that, were taken by 2 amateur photographers, Miss Luck and Miss Wagstaff, 2 schoolmistresses on holiday.
Wonderful ladies, yes.
And they just happened, they were visiting Woodbridge, heard about the dig that was happening on the other side of the river, went across to have a look, and they happened to have some good cameras, a couple of Leicas and a 16mm cine camera. And they took photographs. They just asked if they could come and take photographs of the people digging, and they did. Right up until the time when the British Museum stepped in with Charles Phillips. And at that point,
did he stop photographers, did he?
Well, at that point, the British Museum photographers took over.
Oh, they appointed official photographers then. Right.
Between them, so 500, 600 black and white pictures.
Fantastic.
They took some, colour slides, which at the time, back in the late 30s, just before the war, was quite unusual. You had to have a bit of money to get some colour slide film for certain. And when you look at those, I haven't got any. Haven't got any of those photographs to put up, but I've actually seen some of those about 3-4 weeks ago. and they are remarkable because those color slides have been preserved, and the colors on them are really vibrant. And you can actually see in the color photographs perhaps better than you can in the black and white ones, the distinct colorations in the sand, which is showing the boat and all the other bits and pieces that were buried there.
Oh, right. Yeah. Because that kind of things like that are difficult on black and white, aren't they?
Yeah. And if they had not been there, by the time that the British Museum photographer arrived, you wouldn't have any photographs of the boats, the boats like this at all, because the British Museum photographer was more interested in recording where they were digging and recording the artifacts as they were in the ground before they lifted them out to have an archaeological record. And you can imagine that that's his brief. That's what he was sent there to do. Yes. We want to see what they come out, so that when we do the interpretation, we can see how they come out of the ground, the order, the stratification, and all of that.
Which is also very important.
The picture of this big boat. Now, there's only one photograph I've ever managed to find. And I think it is the only photograph in existence. The two ladies on the site together, and this was taken in August 1939.
The backs of them, anyway.
Well, they're there.
Yeah. Oh, up there. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm looking the wrong way. Yeah, of course. Right. Okay.
They're up there taking photographs. Still taking photographs. But as soon as the British Museum photographer came there, they left and went. But anything you see, and any TV documentary, any publication, any journal will feature their black and white photographs. They've been given to the British Museum by Mrs. Lack, sorry.
Lack, yeah.
I think it is actually Luck.
Luck. Right. Lucky she was there.
But anyway, she's given it to the British Museum, and what they've just finished is actually digitizing them. The photographs now are so valuable as a record. They can't afford to have people handling them, so they've taken all of their albums apart, digitalized the photographs, did the same with the color slides as well. So there's now in the British Museum a full digital record. Which
is that available online?
I don't know whether you can get it online, because I think they've only just recently finished the digitalization process. But I'm sure at some point it will be available online.
So it's the kind of job that can take even half an hour to do that.
What, for each photo?
No, the whole lot.
No. When they digitalize them, they've got to take the original photographs, clean them. Yeah, it's up for each photograph. They're probably taking a week to actually get them into a stage where they get digitalized them, because they're perhaps doing even touching up and things like that where they've been damaged, etc., and then digitalize it and then
just put the original pictures up. It's not, they overwork all these jobs, don't they? Make it into a massive job.
Yeah,
just put them up. Let's just see them. If they want to work them out later and tidy them up and pretty them, fine, carry on. But just put the pictures up for now. Be okay. And let's have a look at them.
The pictures are all out there, and they give a wonderful. Well, if you look at them in the detail, and if you blow them up, you can see a lot of the details that were going on at the time.
Yeah, fantastic.
The later British Museum ones are great because you can see each artifact as it's coming out of the ground. Everything they removed out of the ground has got a photograph in the British Museum somewhere. Some of them are very difficult to find. Some of them I don't think are actually being put up for public view. But it's all been documented. But these ladies, I think they got a couple of £100 between them when they actually gave the stuff to the British Museum.
Pay for the film and everything.
If you wanted to use one of their photographs commercially, you'd be charged thousands. It's a business, these old photos. But no, hats off again, more amateurs. Without these amateurs, we wouldn't have what we've got today. These are another two ladies who don't get the attention and recognition that they deserve.
So there you go. The next video is even funnier about some of the, shall we say, lack of care from the authorities over this incredibly important site. But amateurs are pivotal throughout this. You got Basil, you got these two wonderful ladies with photographs and film. There's other people involved as well, and you can be involved too. You don't have to be a professional. In fact, many ways it can help. So please become part of this. Look into your local area. Find out what history stories are maybe not being told. Or look into the old history books and find out which history stories have stopped being told, which is a lot of what the Britain's Hidden History project's about. We've got lots more coming up at the moment. We've got people talking about a whole range of subjects. So please keep checking the channel. Remember to subscribe so you get the updates, because there's going to be a lot of videos going up. And if you would like to help the channel, there's plenty of books. We've got some new merchandise to have a look at, which is fantastic. And you can always look at becoming a patron supporter for a little £3 a month. Till the next time, Heddwch.